I've been practicing law for 22 years, and over those years, the practice of law has become much more and more specialized. And it used to be, when I first started practicing, that you could be a general practitioner. But specialty areas have developed, and personal injury and medical malpractice plaintiff's work is one of those specialty areas. And unless you have within your general practice, unless you have the infrastructure, qualified paralegals and that kind of thing to help you with that type of work, you really can't be an effective, efficient plaintiff's personal injury medical malpractice lawyer in 2009. We do get referrals for personal injury and medical malpractice plaintiff's work. But at this point, I'm still able to evaluate the case to see if it's, has no value at all or if it has some potential. Any case that comes in to me personally, if I feel that it has potential, I'll immediately refer it to Burnett and Williams. And the reason I do that is because, as I said, I don't have the infrastructure here to personally work the case. I don't have the time. I can't take the time away from my hourly clients, and my caseload is significant here. And it just makes sense to send that type of case to the lawyers who specialize in that. They have a great staff. They are fantastic attorneys themselves. And they also, actually as important to me, is both Peter and Don, and Jim too, whom I don't know as well as Peter and Don, but I know that all of the lawyers there are more and more willing to use alternate dispute resolution mechanisms to settle cases, to resolve cases, as opposed to litigating cases, which can take years. And that's what the clients want. They want effective representation, they want smart representation, but they want fairly rapid resolution. And that's what you get from those guys. I've never made a referral to them that was not, that I didn't get really positive feedback from my own client. The primary reason that any attorney would refer a client to another attorney is because that's not necessarily the problem that they've come to you with, is not necessarily your area of practice. That's not the area that you concentrate in. As I've indicated, there are significant specialties now in the practice of law, and you can't specialize in everything. So generally, a client that will call me with a personal injury or medical malpractice, a potential plaintiff's claim, is someone for whom I've worked before, and they know me, and that's why they're calling me for the representation. Almost without exception, I will send them to Burnett and Williams, and the reason I do that is because they're specialists, they're personal injury specialists. I'm not. I no longer have the ability to take on the day-to-day representation of a plaintiff in a personal injury or medical malpractice case. And but they do. They have all of the experienced paralegals and all of the high-tech discovery tools and all of the connections with the defense industry and that type of thing that make them the specialists in that area. So it's just kind of a no-brainer to refer clients that I want to keep, who are important to me and whose interests are important to me, to the specialists in that area. And by my experience, I know that those referrals are always very well received by the firm, and the clients are well taken care of. And at the end of the case, there's kind of the icing on the cake for me, and that is that I'll receive a referral fee from Burnett and Williams from their portion of from the fee that they receive from the case. I will receive that for referring the case to them. So it's a very symbiotic relationship, but a good relationship, especially for the client. They get the best quality representation, and they also get a referral from an attorney that they know and trust, me. There's no question in my mind that because the lawyers at Burnett and Williams don't practice in any other area. They are experts, really, at determining the value of a personal injury or a medical malpractice plaintiff's claim. And that comes from years of experience in doing it, but it also comes from knowing the people who they deal with on the defense side of the industry, the insurance adjusters, the defense lawyers, the expert witnesses that they come across, medical expert witnesses that they come across on a regular basis in various types of cases. There's always a danger, if that's not your primary area of practice, that you will overvalue or undervalue a case. I never worry about that when I refer a case to Peter or Don, because I know that they both have the experience to be able to put a value on the case. They may not be able to put a value on it the day it walks through the door, and that would be kind of silly if you were able to do that. But at the time they start seriously negotiating a settlement of the case, they know exactly what it's worth.